Welcome to the showcase of the GenAI Toolkit's fulfillment capabilities. Our solution contains a catalog of TM 921 intent templates, which it can instantiate based on natural language user requests. Each intent template contains placeholders that are automatically populated from the user-supplied information. Here we see an IP/VPN SLA upgrade intent template, which takes as input the site and the desired SLA level. The intents catalog is accessed by the first step of the fulfillment flow. Here, an LLM is responsible of selecting the right template from the catalog and populate its placeholders based on the request coming from the human operator. The result is a complete TM 921 intent payload. Before being able to process this TM 921 intent further, our system needs to understand the intent's network domain. This is expressed in the form of a coarse natural language ontology that will help the system understand the domain's inventory structure and entity relations. Armed with this information, the second fulfillment step decomposes our TM 921 intent into a TM 640 service order. The associated flow comprises 3 GenAI-powered substeps. The first substep selects the ontology from the catalog. The second one uses the ontology's entity information and an LLM to automatically query the inventory for the resources required to fulfill the intent. The resources are converted to TM 639 format, to abstract the inventory's nature towards the next steps. The last substep generates the TM 640 order, which relies on a catalog of TM 620 service order item templates to perform the final order decomposition. The LLM will select the appropriate template based on intent and ontology information, then populate its specs as part of the larger TM 640 service order using the retrieved inventory resources. The third step of the fulfillment flow takes care of the TM 640 service order provisioning. This can be either delegated to a dedicated provisioning service or performed via direct device access. Let's take a look at the latter. The flow includes a two-step process, in which a first LLM generates the network element commands based on the TM 640 order details, while a second one uses RAG to validate and correct this configuration based on a vector store of network element CLI guides. Last but not least, we push the configuration to the network element, using for example the SSH protocol. All these steps are orchestrated by an end-to-end flow which covers unsupervised fulfillment starting from the user intent up to the network element configuration. As a note, they can also be individually invoked, which is the case for our interactive avatar, showcased in a separate video. Let's now execute the end-to-end fulfillment flow, observing its execution in real time. It starts by specifying our intent using natural language. Very useful if we think about self-service agents or portals. We can now launch the fulfillment and monitor the execution logs. Step 1 has now been completed. We can observe that the TM 921 intent corresponding to IP/VPN SLA upgrade has been selected and filled in with the correct user-supplied information. Step 2 has been completed as well. Looking at the generated cipher query, we can see that the LLM has employed the ontology information to generate the proper structure which identifies the resources needed for fulfillment. The resulting TM 640 service order contains the expected items, whose specs like router IP, port, vendor, and version have been populated based on retrieved inventory data. Step 3 has completed as well, and we can now see the generated router config, which corresponds to a Cisco 7500 model running iOS 15.3. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you to Kiosk C17 for a live demo.